I've never seen a yacht like this in my dreams. Sailing the seas in boats so grand, it seems. But we're just humble sailors, salt upon our cheeks, gold classic every day of the week.
Hey everybody, welcome back to BoatFools Sailing. So when you're a boat fool like I am, you never pass up an opportunity to look at a cool boat, whether it's a sailboat or a powerboat. And I am up in Northport, Maine right now, and I stumbled across this cool boat that is for sale. And it's a 1990 Cape Dory 28 powerboat. And I'm going to get more information on her, but I'm going to do a quick tour of her while I'm here and get you all the details on the engine hours and the horsepower and all that stuff. So don't hold me to that now because the owner is not here, but I have been given permission to go take a tour of this boat. She's on the hard, obviously, and in various stages being put away for the winter, but I thought it'd be cool to check it out, so let's go. All right, so here we are on the starboard side of this Cape Dory 28, and apparently the Flybridge model, which this is fairly rare, and I believe this model was last made in 1990, and she is a 1990. It's a Cape Dory 28, and let's go take a look. So I've been told that she's open, so we're going to go find out. But I first want to take a look at the port side. But she looks to be in really great condition, and everybody who knows who watches my channel, and I'm a big fan of Cape Dories, of the build quality, and I reckon this boat is no exception. The owner has only had it for a few years, but she looks to be in great shape. She came from Lake Superior, so she was a freshwater boat, and has been on Penobscot Bay for the last 3 years. So she has migrated over to saltwater, but was a freshwater boat for most of her life. I'm looking down along the keel right now. Everything looks to be in really nice shape. There's your prop, your rudder. Pretty boat. First thing you'll note is you've got a nice swim dive platform off the back of this boat. Her name is Wild Rose. You also have a ladder that folds down for easy ingress and egress, but that's a nice platform, nice and solid. You're looking back into the aft fantail here, nice and big and open, and a nice door leading into your cabin. So up on deck here, and you can see the quality of the build here. And this is a nice little fantail, a lot of room out here. You could have, some chairs and a table for those summer nights out on the water. But really nice looking. You've got a ladder up to your flybridge, and you've got a compartment here, which is just access to your steering mechanism and storage. You've got a grill under here, but looks nice and tidy, clean, and pretty darn sweet, I have to say. My buddy, who you're gonna meet, he bought a powerboat this past spring and used it over the summer, and we're gonna check his out too. So we're not exclusively sailing here, but mostly. But when you find a cool boat, you just gotta go look. That opens nicely. Okay, so engine compartment is open, obviously. That is a big Volvo Penta diesel on that. Hours unknown. And she's just out of the water now, so there's still a little water in her bilge, but that engine looks to be in really nice shape. And we will find out the engine hours for you, but he's got the batteries on a trickle charge. But this cabin is sweet. I'm 6'1", and I'm standing up fully in here with no issues. But really beautiful. Nice woodwork all the way around. Nice windows that open up. And just clean and tidy. Obviously it's been pinked out. Here's your helm station, and looks like a touchscreen Garmin maybe. I'll check on that, but that looks nice and updated. Really neat. This is looking back toward the door we just came through, and you know, the ceiling in here is nice, sort of a leatherette with the battens across. A nice look, similar to the Morgan. Everything I see reminds me of the Morgan. But I can imagine this being a really nice place to get out of the weather and have a cocktail. Okay, coming down the companionway to the cabin down below. Obviously it's taken apart for winter, but you've got the cushions from the main salon area down here, but you've got your V-berth cushions here, which all look really nice. The fabric looks nice. The woodwork looks great. All of this looks neat and tidy, and nice woodwork all the way around. And again, I've got plenty of headroom up here. I'm standing up fully, and you've got a hatch above, and you've got an opening port to starboard and an opening port to port. All right, so we're looking back from the V-berth toward the stern into the main salon area, and your galley is on your starboard side here. You've got an opening port there, and it opens right up, so there's lots of air. It's not claustrophobic down here at all. Here's your electronic switchboard here. You've got, looks like refrigerator. You got a refrigerator, which is nice. You've got a range here, and that all looks serviceable and good. Nice little galley sink, and I imagine it's a pressurized system. There's your engine again. I think it's massive. And then on port, you've got your head, and that looks nice. It's got this sort of translucent plastic in here that allows light in from above, which is nice. And you've got a nice looking head that looks like that's been replaced at some point. Little sink, and it looks like it's a wet head. I don't see a shower head, but there is a drain and sump, so there must be a way to shower in here. But that all looks serviceable and clean and bright and tidy, and the door closes. But just a cool boat. I love the look of this thing, and I'm not really a powerboat guy, but since this is Cape Dory, I made an exception, and you can feel the Cape Dory build quality for sure, and it feels a little bit like a sailboat down here, especially up in the V-berth and head area. So looks like you've got a closet here too. Nice wet closet. Nice. All serviceable, neat, tidy. Storage in the galley. Yeah, this is slick. I can imagine a couple taking this and bombing around Penobscot Bay and gun-coaling and having a blast. Sole floor all looks good. This looks down to your fuel gauge in there. I don't know if you can see that. There it is, right through the floor. That's pretty slick. And obviously all those cushions go up on these bench seats. But let's go check out the Flybridge. All right, so we're just coming up the Flybridge ladder, and this is pretty cool. What a vantage point from up here. Wow, I love this. The helm is dead center on this, looking down toward the bow, and she just looks beautiful. If you're not a fan of heights, this would not be for you, especially when you're on the hard, because it really seems far down. But there you are, looking down at your fantail. But a nice big bench seat up here that's folded down to protect it from the weather at the moment. All your controls and a little windshield, and what a cool view. If you're out on the sea right now, this would be magnificent. Really neat. By the way, I'm walking around and I'm not feeling any soft spots on this deck. And again, she is 1990, so she is newer than some of the sailboats we look at, but she seems to be in really nice shape. But there's your ladder down. Again, if you're not a fan of heights, this would not be for you, but really cool up here. I love it. All right, so I've just gotten up onto the bow. I navigated over some framing, but I just will say the side decks are nice and wide, and there's some nice handholds on the side there, on the coach roof and along the tow rail here, your stanchions, and handrails back here. So really easy to get up here. And I would imagine without the framing, it'd be a piece of cake, but it wasn't even bad with that. But generally speaking, this is really slick up here. I like it. No windlass, but let's take a look in here. Nice little anchor locker. It looks like you got some chain and rode, little Danforth anchor. So that's pretty small. So I think you'd be fine without a windlass, but neat little anchor compartment there. And I have to say, again, I've been walking around these decks. I haven't noticed anything soft or unusual, but she's a handsome boat. Is that what you call a powerboat? Handsome? I don't really know, but I like it. If I had to have a powerboat, I would be definitely interested in this boat. This is really neat. And it's got classic lines, that trawler look, and sort of modified lobster picnic boat look. And with the Flybridge, that's pretty sweet for a nice vantage point on a sunny day and you want to be outside. But really, these decks seem solid and this boat seems solid. And I got to say, kind of in love with it. Really cute. It would be a really sweet boat for a couple. So the other thing I noticed about this boat, which given the age is pretty spectacular, is I saw very little crazing. I see a little bit on the cabin side here, but I didn't see any up on the bow around the coach roof, and really none on starboard side to speak of. A couple of hairline stuff, but nothing at all substantial, and not what you'd expect to see on a boat built in 1990. But generally speaking, I love the build quality of this, and I am not a professional power boater. I am not an expert on power boats at all, but I know a pretty boat when I see one, and this boat is pretty, and the fact that she's Cape Dory is significant to me, and that's why I wanted to take a look at her. So if anyone out there is interested, we're gonna get all the information for you. We're gonna post it up and get the seller's contact information posted as well. So if you're interested, you can make direct contact and ask any and all questions. But generally speaking, I love this boat. Okay, so I was really unprepared for this today. This was pure happenstance that this boat is for sale and that I am here and I was able to tour her. I only had my iPhone with me, so sorry for the video quality, but don't crucify me for putting a powerboat on BoatFools Sailing, because she is a Cape Dory, so she's got sailboat DNA. And she's really pretty. So there might be some of you out there who are downsizing from sailing to powerboating, or just interested in powerboats, and this boat would be a really cool one to take a close look at. We will post up all the information. I will get that from the seller. My hands are freezing, my nose is running, so I'm going to sign off. But I really appreciate you tuning in and checking it out, and we'll see you next week. All right, so the asking price for this 1990 Cape Dory 28-foot Flybridge trawler is $54,000. That includes all of the gear, includes everything, including the 8-foot Puffin dinghy you see under the bow in the video. Items that don't work per the seller are the water heater, the CD player and FM radio, and the auto helm. Recent upgrades include, but are not limited to, new marine head and plumbing, 2 new bronze through-hole fittings, the Raycor fuel separator, battery disconnect switch, new starting and house batteries as of 2022, LED spotlight, nav lights, and cabin interior lights, the 8-foot Puffin and davit attachments, reupholstered Flybridge bench seat, and a fortress anchor and bottom chain. So a lot of upgrades. If you have any additional questions, the seller's information is in the description below. And I hope you've enjoyed this. We'll see you next week.
BoatFools sailing in our modest vessels, waves we wrestle, making all the sirens sing. Ocean air sailing there, we still enjoy the finer things. We don't care. The view is pretty good from